Hello student. Hello student. I am Rohit. I am a social science teacher. Today we are discussing about the chapter number 4 in history, the first cities. Now the first cities started with the civilization definition of civilization. Now what is civilization? Civilization is the most commonly defined along the lines of an advanced state of a human society containing highly developed forms of government, culture, industry and social forms. That means a civilization can be defined as advanced stage of development and characterized by a planned cities, surplus food production, well-developed trade, art, craft, language, system or governance, etc. The earliest civilizations were distinctly progressive and modern as compared to the Neolithic settlement. Many early civilizations developed around river valleys. There is a perhaps because of fertile soil and abundance of water for agriculture in areas drained by rivers. Rivers also served as a convenient means of transport. Such civilizations which develop around river valleys are referred to as a river valley civilizations. Some early river valley civilizations include the Indus Valley civilizations along the river Indus in an Indian subcontinent, the Chinese civilizations on the bank of the river of the Honghu, and there is a Egyptian civilization along the river Nile in Africa. Now, Indus Valley civilization, the Indus Valley civilization is believed to have been developed around 4,700 years ago and around 2700 BC. It is called so because the cities belong to these civilizations were located close to the river Indus and its tributaries. After the more cities were discovered beyond the Indus Valley civilization, historians began referring to the civilizations as the Indus Valley civilizations. Nearly 1,000 sites from these civilizations have been discovered so far. The first Indus cities to be discovered by archaeologists was in Harappa, Pakistan, believed to be among the oldest cities in the Indian subcontinent. The site discovered about 8 decades ago, and Mohenjo-daro in Sindh, Pakistan was the next site to be discovered. Later, more cities were discovered in Punjab, Sindh in the Pakistan, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Haryana, and Punjab in India. And the cities were described in Harappa cities. This is because they all had buildings similar to the site in the Harappa. Similar objects were discovered them from them. For example, archaeologists found red and black pottery weight made up of stone, seal, beads, tools of coppers, as well as stone blades in the most of the cities. Evidence of the well planned cities, drainage system, art and craft, thriving agriculture, trade, etc. suggests the Harappan cities were centers of a well developed civilizations. Now, these are the important sites of the Indus Valley civilizations and the Harappa civilization and Mohenjo-daro and Dholavira. They are the sites. Now, the feature of the Harappan cities. Harappan uh, Harappan cities were well planned with an organized network of drainage and streets. The cities were mostly divided into the parts, the citadel and the lower town. The citadel, that means fortress, usually stood on a raised ground and lay to the west of the cities. The lower town lay in the low-lying part located at the east of the cities. The citadel was perhaps occupied by the rulers, while the common people lived in a lower town. The citadel and the lower town were usually enclosed by walls of baked bricks. Now, this is an excavation site in the Harappa, the Great Bath. In some Harappan sites, the citadel contained other buildings were mostly meant for a public use, like the tanks, granaries. For example, the citadel in the Mohenjo-daro has a tank like linked with the bricks and coated with the plaster. Two set of steps led down into the tanks that has a room all side. There is even a drain that maybe have been used empty tank, and it is used for bathing, and therefore it is called it Great Bath. Now, the Hausian street, the main street of the cities were laid out in a grid like fashion dividing the cities into the large blocks, and the street cut each other at the right angles, and houses made of bricks were usually made of both sides of the streets. They had one or two floors. Each houses had a central courtyard with rooms all around it. They usually had a separate area of bathing. Some houses even had wells. Now, the drainage. The houses, other building, and the streets were provided with a drain. In many places, the drain in the houses buildings were connected to the main streets. Now, the Harappan script. A script can be defined or a system of writing. Most of the now the Harappan script is through the large number of seals and inscriptions found at Harappan sites. The Harappan script is a pictography script. It comprises set of the pictography symbols or each which represent a word or a sound. It perhaps the earliest form of writing in the Indian subcontinent. And the next is Harappan society. As Harappan script has not yet deciphered, not so much is about the Harappan society was organized. From the side adults, it is evidence that there was a ruling class of the ruler and who governed these cities. Now the next is occupation. The fertile soil of the region was used for growing different crops, and the Indus farmers and the herders supplied food to craftsmanship, scribes, and rulers living in the cities. They grew wheat, barley, gram, peas, maize, mustard, milk. They were possibly to grow the cotton in India. Now, they use the plug to sickle the different method of irrigation. Four of the marks made up by the plug have been found the Kalimangan. Pottery making was an important occupation, and Harappa pottery was red in the color, geometric floral design in black, and the terracotta figures and remains of the animal. How the Harappan domesticated a variety of animals such as the cattle, sheep, goat, buffaloes, camels, elephants, etc. Now Harappan dress. Figure discovered from the Harappan sites show the people wearing ornaments and garments resembling leon cloths or dhotis and shawls. The discovery of the spindle was used for the spinning threads such as textile like cotton and wool were commonly produced, and archaeologists have even found a place of cotton cloth in the Mohenjo-daro. Harappan craft. Archaeologists have found a variety of objects of the Harappan sites including pottery, seals, weapons, ornament, tool, etc. The objects were mostly made of stone shells, metal like the copper, bronze made by the mixing tin, copper and gold and silver. Now, these are the picture of the seal and the ornament, tools, pottery, sculptures, toys and seals. Now the trade. Evidence suggests the Harappan traveled the distance land in order to bring many of the raw materials such as the gold, silver, tin, precious stone, etc. They is required to produce their craft. It is possible they brought the copper from Rajasthan or even from far from the West Asia, tin, silver from the Afghanistan and Iran, gold from the South India, precious stone from the Iran, Afghanistan and Maharashtra and Gujarat. Now the religion. Many Harappan seals depict the female figures. This had led the historian to believe that they worshipped some part of the mother goddess, and seal depicting the people tree to the possibility that the tree was considered sacred by the Harappans. And the male figures show the wearing the horn, headdress, and some of the seal is believed to have been early form of the Shiva known as the Pashupati. Now decline of the Harappan cities. Now Harappan cities seem to have been started declining 3900 years ago. About the 1900 BC, evidence show that people stopped living in the cities, especially in the Sindh and the Pakistan, Punjab in Pakistan, and moved to other areas in some cities such as Harappa, Mohenjo-daro. There is evidence of the drainage system breaking down and houses being constructing, some even on the streets. Harappan seals, pottery, weights also vanish all of sudden. Thank you. This is all about the chapter number 4, the first cities.